Well, hey, it's Brian G. Johnson, and welcome to the live stream, author of the BookTube Ritual. Today, we're going to be talking about thumbnails and how you can drive not just more views, but better views, views that lead to subscribers. And I've spent the better part of the day really diving in to some channels here online, and we're going to be looking at these channels, seeing what's working, what's not, and we're going to have all kinds of fun. So I'm going to go ahead and get my stream set up here, wait for some people to come in. I believe we are public, we are live, and there they are, they're dropping in. Great to see you guys. I'm going to go ahead and do some sharing. I want to let you know, if you're watching on the replay, down below in the comments, well, let me show you. We're going to transition this. This is pretty fancy here. There we go. Excellent. Nice. So like I said, just bear with me one moment. We'll be underway. Kind of configuring things now. Let's go full screen here. Excellent, excellent. So I want to let you know, today we're going to be talking about how you can drive more views with the videos you publish. We're not just going to go into views though, because quite honestly, what I've learned is there's many subtleties, things you can do to ultimately drive more views that lead to more subscribers. And the way we're going to do that is by crafting better thumbnails and video titles. Now, if you are watching the replay, great to have you again. My name is Brian G. Johnson. And if you want to jump straight to the presentation, please pay attention to the link down below in the description. I've got a timestamp that really will guide you to where the presentation begins, and you don't have to sit through the introductions and whatnot. And we're gonna move up here. So it's great to have you. We've got that out of the way for the lovely folks on the replay. Great to see so many people dropping in. If you could share this out, I'd really appreciate it. I'm gonna do that myself. I'm gonna see if I can identify the fancy, let me see if I go to my channel page, there it is. And let me come into live chat on my iPad. Excellent. We have a lot of people here. We've got about 35 people here, and I'm sure more people will be coming in. Great to see you guys. I'm getting all the panels set to go. I want to let you know that we're not going to really do reviews today. What we are going to do is we're going to look at channels that are patrons of mine, those people that are supporting me on Patreon. We're going to break down what they're doing, and I'm going to share best practices for how you can drive more views with better thumbnails. So that's what's coming up today. It's going to be fantastic. And let me see if I can refresh. There we go. I see the link here. And I'm just going to go ahead and share this across email. And then we will be on our way. Excellent. The email is sent. Now we're going to share. We're going to share on Facebook. Excellent. Excellent. Okay, now let's come back here. Well, that was a lot to do here in this control panel. Hey, it's great to see you. Thank you so much for stopping by. I am so excited. I've spent 5 or 6 hours putting this presentation together, really diving deep into what constitutes and drives people to click thumbnails. And I think as you see, as I break down the psychological reasons why people click, you're going to find this helpful. That's my goal. So we're going to jump right in here, and let's see, we got 39 people, and thank you for your shares. Let's just jump right back here to the display. Where are you guys coming for before we jump in? Well, actually, let's do this. Let's come in here, and fantastic. Now let's go to full screen. So again, we're going to talk about more views, gaining subscribers. That's what's coming up today. We're going to do it with thumbnails and video titles, and it's going to be fantastic. I want to say thank you so much. You are awesome. I really appreciate that you've taken the time to be here. It really means a lot, and I'm going to do everything in my power to give you information that can help you to improve your results. I am absolutely committed to this, so thank you. I think, we could use a little bit more kindness in this world, so I wanted to say thank you. And yes, absolutely, if you share this, then you feed a poodle. That is Olive on the left, and Otis is on the right. Man, I love these two. Poor Olive wasn't feeling good today. She was at the vet, but she seems to be doing okay. And I have a question for you. I would love to know, where are you right now with your YouTube journey? Where are you at as far as moving forward here on the platform? Have you launched a channel? Have you been publishing videos for years? Is your channel growing? Just let me know. Keep it short. I want to be able to see what you're up to, and I would love to know. So just drop me a comment and let me know how your YouTube journey is going. And welcome for those of you that are dropping in. So, if we're going to talk about doing well on YouTube, then it's really important that we understand, how the algorithm works. And today we're going to take we're going to take information, not theory. We're not going to try to figure it out. Today what I bring you is from the horse's mouth. This is a paper written by a Google engineer that works on the algorithm at YouTube. And, at the end of the day, this paper, Deep Neural Networks for YouTube Recommendations, is really about how YouTube recommends videos to people. In other words, when we're looking at this image here and you're watching a video, those videos on the right, if you're on a desktop, those are recommended videos. Those are suggested videos. And it doesn't matter if you're on a desktop, it doesn't matter if you're on a mobile device like a phone, there are always more videos to click on, right? And the problem with this kind of a paper is this is geek speak. It's complicated. It was written by many scientists, and it's hard to break it down. But to me, it means this. How does the algorithm measure and reward videos? This document addresses that exactly. This document really gives us an understanding of how the algorithm measures and rewards videos. And Grandpa's Place, thank you so much for the super chat. So, what I want you to think about is when you understand how it works, then you've got a target. Ultimately, we're trying to hit a target with our videos. And if you don't know, you don't even know where the freaking target is. So this document helps us so much. And it brings me to this statement in the document. Now stick with me. Our final ranking objective is constantly being tuned based on live A/B split testing, but is generally a simple function of expected watch time per impression. YouTube is split testing video results, and they're measuring expected watch time per impression. That's kind of a lot to wrap your head around. Here's how it works. This is it simply. So when you're looking at a video on YouTube, like I said, you're always looking at other videos you can click on. Those are suggested videos. Those are recommended videos, okay? And here on the desktop, they're on the right. And literally, when you're looking at any page, any video page on YouTube, YouTube is split testing the videos against one another, and they're measuring expected watch time per impression. So it's not just watch time, it's watch time per impression. And there are two elements that can increase that. Number one is the percentage of people clicking. If you get a lot more people clicking, you're going to do exceptionally well. Okay, so our goal moving forward is to get more clicks, but not just more clicks. We want people to watch our video longer. Today, we're going to talk about driving clicks, and this is actually part of a two video live stream series where we dig into clicks and thumbnails. And then in an upcoming live stream, I'm going to talk about video titles, okay? This is another statement directly from YouTube. We've started adjusting the ranking of videos in YouTube search to reward engaging videos that keep viewers watching. So that's our goal, more clicks and longer viewing duration. YouTube tells us this is what they reward, the goal. More clicks, longer views, okay? Now, this is yet another statement from YouTube. Another statement from YouTube. What you're looking at here in this image, it was taken from the YouTube Creator Playbook. And YouTube's talking about thumbnails. And what I want you to think about is if you look in the middle of the image, it says time cost, moderate, an hour. It absolutely takes a bit of time to learn how to craft a solid thumbnail. You know, it takes time and energy to figure that out. But once you do, every single video you publish is going to benefit. And the effect, that benefit, it says effect is search traffic, viewership, and click-through rate. So YouTube is telling us that the click-through rate, the viewership, and the traffic increases with better thumbnails. It's really worth our time. This is part one of a two live stream series where I'm going to break down thumbnails and video titles, okay? And here's what's up. You can make a thumbnail on an iPad. You can make a thumbnail on an iPhone or an Android or your computer. It really doesn't matter the tool that you use. Today, we're going to talk about the science, why somebody clicks, how to use emotion, how to use enticing imagery. We're going to talk about what draws the eye. We're going to talk about what is bad. I'm going to share how some of my Patreons can improve and so on. Now, if you want to learn how to create videos, or thumbnails rather, I've got an entire playlist that will walk you through the apps that I use and more. So check out the playlist, How to Create YouTube Thumbnails, on my channel, Brian G. Johnson TV. And you can see here, the app that I use is called Pixelmator. In the image on the right, the gray box with the My Channel Sucks, that is Pixelmator, and that's basically how I create my thumbnails. Furthermore, the image on the left, Meme Studio, these are apps that I use. If you're on iPhone, check out Avery and Photoshop Mix and Typorama. A lot of good apps, WordSwag. Okay, guys, now we're going to get into it. It's interesting that I'm showing you a thumbnail right now, and the thumbnail reads Secret Growth Tool. And it's interesting because this is a secret. See, one of the things we do as humans is when we sit down to craft and create thumbnails, we're probably looking at a very big image of the thumbnail we're working on, just like you're looking at now. It's a big image of the thumbnail, right? And if you're just dropping in, great to see you. Welcome to the live stream. Nice to have you on board. And when you're designing, you're looking at this very large image, but in reality, you're designing a very small image. That's why it's called a thumbnail. So it's important as you're designing to really think, how is this going to look when it's teeny tiny, when it's very small? And when you do this, it really helps you to identify, there's too much on my thumbnail, it's hard to read, etc. And I want to show you some of the things that I do to make this happen. Now, here is our guiding principle. We want to craft thumbnails that are easy to understand. We want to craft thumbnails that are very easy to understand and comprehend. And it's not, people don't read. There's no reading on YouTube. We watch, we scroll. Our eye is drawn to certain things. Now, what I do is when I'm crafting a thumbnail, when I'm going to publish a video, what I'm going to do is I'm going to first look at the target keyword phrase I'm targeting. In this example, it's, why isn't my YouTube channel growing? And what I'm going to do then is I'm actually going to take a screen capture. I'm going to create a screen capture. So you can see I dropped out of the presentation because I need to show you how I kind of work here. Let me see if I can pull this up to 75%. Looks like it's going to work, 75%. There we go. So what I do is, this is a screen capture of the search results. This is my thumbnail. Now when I'm working on it, remember, it's this big. It's really too big. And oh, it looks great for sure. But what I do is I shrink it down and I come into YouTube and then I overlay my thumbnail on someone else's and I go, how does that look? Is that going to look good? Is that going to draw someone's eye? Is it easy to read? And this is something you can do as well. I really recommend that when you get started, you create a screen capture, a screenshot of YouTube, especially targeting the keyword phrase you want to rank for, or suggested videos. And what you want to do is you want to then think about, what's it going to look like when I'm all said and done? And you can see here, I'm dragging it right back over. And that gives me a really good representation of how things are going to look if I do indeed rank. And what's great about this is it's easy to comprehend, it's easy to read, it's easy to understand, and I know I've done a good job before I've published. That's our first tip. I hope you found it helpful. Number 2 is morning fame. Okay, one of the things I'm trying to do, remember our goal. Do you remember the goal? Let me just back up here. The goal, there it is. The goal is to get more clicks. In other words, more views. So the goal is to get more clicks. So what I do is I measure my clicks with Morning Fame. And there is a link in the description where you can sign up to Morning Fame. And here you can actually see that in the first 72 hours, this video drove the second highest amount of views across about 40 videos at the time. So that's really helpful for me to know. And Morning Fame allows me to study what kind of videos are driving more views. Very helpful. Now we're going to get into the specific tips. We're going to talk about a number of different channels and so on. I hope you guys are digging this. Tip number 1, do not use the same thumbnail template again and again. This is what I mean by this. This is Alvin Blocks. Okay, Rolloblocks is the game. Rolloblocks is a game, and Alvin Blocks has done an amazing job. He's got 25,000 subscribers. But notice right here, this playlist, How to Script on Rolloblocks for Beginners, notice that he uses the same thumbnail style or template every single time. And because of that, you kind of look at it and see, okay, I get it, and you move on. What you want to do is you want to create a sense of discovery. You want to create a sense of, I want to explore more. I'm going to show you what that looks like in just a second. And I want to say thank you for Alvin Blocks for being a patron. It really means the world to me, and it allows me to spend the time on these trainings to deliver this. And check out Alvin's channel, Alvin Blocks. Thank you so much for being a patron. Now, here is my channel, and you can see one of the things I'm doing is my thumbnails all kind of look similar. They always feature me. I've got the same font and color style, but I'm not using the same template every single time. And that causes you to want to discover more, to poke around. So what you don't want to do is use the same type of thumbnail template again and again, right? Can you guys see the difference? As soon as you see Roloblock's template style, you kind of like, okay, I get it. Now there's some other things we can improve upon for Alvin blocks, and we'll talk about that as we move forward. Another thing that I've done is I've gone ahead and I've created templates or styles for my YouTube playlists. Okay, playlists are very, very powerful. Playlists allow you to really craft content specific to individuals, and by creating a template, a brand style for your thumbnails, it allows you to make it easy for people to comprehend, to remember. Tip number two, your YouTube channel is similar to a comic layout. Literally, think about it. I mean, it's kind of the same thing, right? You can design it with a playlists that are vertical. You can have playlists that are horizontal, like I've done. You get to control how the layout works, what directions, how many thumbnails. You can incorporate different playlists. And what you want to think about is your channel is similar to like a comic layout. And every single pane, every single thumbnail should have a different image and really tell part of a story, okay? And by having different images, different text, it draws people in. You know, by the way, I talk about some of these principles in my book, Tube Ritual, that's available on Amazon.com. Now, I mentioned your channel and how to customize it. This image is interesting. We're going to get back to it in a moment. There's some stuff, things here aren't quite right, but nonetheless, you can see if you search for YouTube channel customization, my video comes up number 2 out of 69 million results. You can check out and watch that video. I really encourage you, if you haven't customized your YouTube channel, to do so. It will help you to move forward and create something that's unique and different to look at. That's really the goal, okay? Tip number 3. Wow, less is, and look at that. I tell you, like I knew it'd be in there somewhere. Less is what? Oh boy, less is more. And we will take this. And here's the great thing about this. See, I can fix it right there. There's no problem. I'm going to share some secret stuff at the end about like how to get great results you're not going to want to miss. So just hang with me. Tip number 3, less is more. Less text, less images, less shapes, simple, clean, and easy to understand, and so great to see all of you here. Thank you for being here. Nick Nimmin does such a great job of this, right? Nick does a really wonderful job with his thumbnails. If you haven't checked out Nick's channel, just search for Nick Nimmin and subscribe. He's growing like crazy. You know, what's interesting to me is his thumbnails are so visually striking, yet they are pretty simple. They are pretty clean. It's the same formula every single time, every time. His face is on the right. His text is on the left. His text is always on the left. His text incorporates 3 colors, red, black, which isn't a color, but you know, I think you get where I'm going, gray and white, 3 or 4 colors. It's the same every time. And when we look here at Alvin blocks, notice the amount of text that he's incorporated into his thumbnails. It almost becomes overload. It's almost like it's kind of hard to comprehend, especially when you're looking at a lot of different things. Remember, when someone looks at your thumbnail, they're not just looking at a thumbnail. They're looking at YouTube, their there are tons of videos, there's tons of stimulus, there's things you can click on, there's other videos, and less is far more because it's easier for the mind to comprehend. Again, thank you for being a Patreon, Elvin. Appreciate it. Tip number 5. Tip number 5. Thank you so much for stopping by. I'm seeing a lot of cool people in the house. I really dig seeing you guys here. Welcome. Congruency. Congruency. I want you to think about your channel as a brand, because it is. It's not just, we're not just building a channel. You're creating a brand. Even if you're a gamer, you're creating a brand. Now, what does congruency mean? Well, it means in harmony. It's supposed to be. It flows. It works together well. You can create your own brand colors. What you're looking at right now are my brand colors: yellow and a dark kind of a grayish black. It's a bluish black. Okay? These are my brand colors. It was thought out before I started out. The clothes I'm wearing, how they look, how I want to make people feel. Now, this is hashtag Zoe. Zoe's been with me for a while now. She's been a subscriber, and she has done, again, an amazing job, and she has gained over 10,000 subscribers. And I'll be honest with you, I'm putting together this presentation today, and I'm putting this together, and I'm looking at Zoe's channel, and I'm like, honestly, she's doing a lot right. And it was kind of like, I'm not sure what's wrong. It took me a little bit to figure it out. But there are a few things that she's doing really well, and there's a few things she could do better at. Now, first, notice she uses kind of the same font in nearly all of her thumbnails. Not all of them, but nearly. Okay? Another thing she does is she repeats the color yellow very often in her font. Very, very smart. Do you guys have any ideas as far as, what she could improve on? Well, here's what I found. And like I said, after a minute and a half, it hit me. The congruency between how she's organized her channel, the playlist, and so on are a little different. If we come to this image here, okay, notice she's got these playlists. Awesome job on using playlists, Zoe. Good job. Types of people, and then things girls do. Okay, now check out the thumbnails in the playlist up top. Types of people. Notice that one of the thumbnails on the left has a border, which is awesome, but it's pink. The next thumbnail to the right, types of teachers, has a border, which is great, but it's red. And then we go to the next thumbnail and it has another border, and it's pink purple again. And then the next thumbnail to the right, types of people, it has a border, but the border is thinner. So by creating something that's congruent, the same, by repeating the same color palette, the same fonts, the same border thickness, it'll create congruency across the playlist. It'll draw the eye, and it's very powerful, right? This is exactly what I'm talking about. Now, we're looking here at a person's channel, but imagine what happens when somebody searches on YouTube and some of the thumbnails line up all together. You can't help but be drawn to those particular videos by that particular channel creator, because the human eye recognizes a pattern. And what you'll notice is in all my thumbnails that cover YouTube, the YouTube platform, YouTube algorithm, over the last year, they've all been red. Now, I didn't start off with red because like every human, it took me a while to figure this stuff out. But today, my playlist for YouTube always has the exact same thumbnail template style. Now, furthermore, when you look at my channel, you can see how to create YouTube thumbnails. So that's the YouTube, and they're all red. And when you look at my playlist for apps for video editing, they're always yellow and black. And when you look at my iMovie thumbnails, they're always tan. They always include the icon for iMovie. They always include a splash of red. And that pattern draws the human eye. And this is exactly how you can move forward and create thumbnails that drive results. I'm so excited to go into part 2 of this presentation probably next week. I love the fact that we've got live streaming working. We've got videos coming out regularly, and I can really dive in and share these presentations and take you a little deeper into how this stuff works. Tip number 6, courtesy of Otis and Olive: contrast. Contrast. This is contrast. A poor example. This is a bad and hard to comprehend example of contrast. You can read it, but imagine if this was a thumbnail on YouTube and there's all that stimulus, all these different things to look at, it's hard to really understand. This is a good example. Now notice I mentioned less is more in a previous step. I mentioned that when you reduce the amount of text, it's better. Why? Well, number one, you can make it bigger. I mean, it's not rocket science, but yet I see so many thumbnails that have so much text, and it makes it harder to read and comprehend because we're dealing with something that's very small. This is TerraVision Gaming. And the first thing I noticed when I landed on TerraVision Gaming's channel was this what to watch next, his last video upload, PUBG for the poor. And I absolutely said, wow, that is such an amazing thumbnail. I love that thumbnail. Why? Number one, it does a great job at really leveraging contrasting colors. It's really simple. You have a very dark background, like in this example, the background is very dark green. And then the text is light. So the text is yellow, the text is white, and it contrasts. It's easy to read. And furthermore, there's not a lot of stuff. There's one person. That's it, one person. There's no background. It's a background color. And then it's text. That's easy. Fantastic. And yet at the same time, there's other thumbnails that are hard to kind of figure out. And what I'm talking about is this one. Did you guys notice rage? You see how it says rage there? Well, that text is white. It's light. White is light. It rhymes and it's true. And it's against a thumbnail that has a lot of white and yellow in it. And because of that, it doesn't really pop. So what you want to do, my friend at TerraVision Gaming, thank you so much for your patronage. I'm going to share some more ideas on how you can improve your channel, my friend, and I so appreciate it. That, you know, all these people are Patreons, and it means a lot to me, and I can create this type of in-depth training, and I can provide tips to you, so thank you. Contrast for the win. Now, again, this is a great example of two things that TerraVision Gaming can do to improve. This is a playlist on The Walking Dead. And if you remember, I said, think about creating a playlist and have a thumbnail style, a color palette, a font, and he's done that. It's great. But one of the things he also did is he used the same thumbnail template again and again. And it kind of defeats the purpose because then you kind of look at it and you feel like you get it. So instead, what I try to do is use different pictures, but create a similar style, theme, etc. And that's one of the things you can improve. Furthermore, this particular thumbnail, the background, it looks like they're outdoors. It's a game, The Walking Dead, or maybe, I think it's a game, or maybe it's the show Walking Dead, right? Well, they're outside and it looks like it's sunset or sunrise. The sky is pinks and reds, and the text is also pinks and reds, and it kind of goes away. I think if you would have had Walking Dead in yellow, it would really pop. Again, thank you so much, TerraVision Gaming. I appreciate you. And lastly, one of the things to think about is you want to make it easy for people to understand, like I mentioned before, make it easy for them to comprehend. And one of your thumbnails actually poses a question like, what the heck is this? This game is stupid. And I think you would do better instead of, I want to go back here. So notice these thumbnails. Live, Walking Dead, New Frontier, live, Walking Dead, New Frontier, live, Walking Dead, New Frontier, live. Instead, talk about something unique and different about each episode, okay? If something happens in episode 3, then make the thumbnail about that. Remember I mentioned that your thumbnails are about telling a story? Well, you're not really telling a story because it's the same thing. And we want people to carry on in the story. So this is one of the things I think you can do. And the same thing can be said about some of these thumbnails. You're not kind of explaining the story. In fact, you're posing a question in the middle, what the heck is this? Tip number 7. I have to laugh a little bit. You'll see why. No white background. The YouTube website is white. Hey, Lame Brain, thank you so much. I appreciate that, and I appreciate you. Thank you so much for becoming a Patreon, and thank you for the super chat. The YouTube website is white. When you create a thumbnail that is white, it blends in. You do not want to blend in. You want your thumbnails to pop, right? You want your thumbnails to stand out. Now, I kind of messed up here. And it's funny because I taught this same principle when I taught self-publishing and creating book covers. You know, the Amazon website is white, and I taught don't use or create a white book cover if you want to publish primarily on Amazon. Now, if you've got a white book cover and you want to sell physical books, that's a little different. But when you're looking at a website, you don't want something to disappear. Now, I had a border, and that's good, but I definitely felt by creating bold thumbnails with dark colors, a dark red, a dark charcoal gray, a bright blue, me outside against a full yellow, a full blue sky would be much more powerful. This picture is that, right? This is a picture outside. It's not photoshopped. It's just the sky. That's it. And you can see that the white text across the blue sky really pops, okay? Now we're going to get into my pal who's in the house, Dan at Creator Fundamentals, and we're going to talk about minimizing additional shapes and sidebars. Now, I wanted to go even deeper, and there's some stuff I missed in this section, but we're going to talk about it. We start out with a rectangle shape. And if you add a sidebar or a big round circle or a big square, I see some people including a big square in their thumbnail and then they add text inside. Well, that creates two shapes. It kind of breaks things up. And instead of that, what you want to do is you want to think about, hey, how can I move forward? And how can I craft a thumbnail that stands out? Let me ask you guys, this is one of Dan's thumbnails. I've got a question for you, okay? And my question is, can you read this? Can you read this for me? And what I want you to read is the gray bar on the left. Now, I said his name and he's in the chat so you can see his name, but can you read it? Is it easy to read? Is it easy to comprehend? I am not a fan of these sidebars, and you're going to see why in a moment. I'm not sure we need to include the sidebars, okay? You guys, can you see it? Can you read it? There's the sidebar, and can you read what it says? And furthermore, can you read the second line? It's red. Can you read the second line? It's very, very hard to read. And remember, this is about the size you see on a phone, or this is the size you see when you're looking at YouTube. It's a very small image. You really cannot read either text. And the red text is just some red stuff, right? This is what it says: Creator Fundamentals, Building a Foundation for YouTube Success. And you can barely see it. And this was a screen capture. It's a bit pixelated, but I think you get the idea. And Dan, again, thank you for being a Patreon. I really appreciate it. Now, when you look at Dan's channel, this works out really well. Creator Fundamentals. It's very easy to read. It's easy to understand. It says, build a foundation for YouTube success, right? Build a foundation for YouTube success. But when you put that and you try to cram it in the thumbnail, in the sidebar, it's hard. And you can actually see his most recent video, he did not repeat that design because we worked on it a little bit together. And I just shared some ideas and he went with it. And I think what we have now is a little bit easier to understand. And do you guys know why people add those sidebars? Do you know why? Anybody have any idea? Hey, Mario, hey, good to see you, buddy. I thought I might have seen you drop in. And Penny, nice to see you. And Green Screen Master, good to see you. And Lame Brain is here, and he's a patron, and he super chatted. Great to see all of you guys. Does anybody know why so many YouTubers add the sidebar? Oh, Sarah, good to see you. Take care, Sarah. Thanks for stopping by. Check out the replay. David, nice to see you. Thank you for stopping by. So here's what's up. You know, a lot of people really add the sidebars because they want people to remember their channel. They want to name their channel. My question is, when you see that, what do you think about when you see that image? Yeah, branding. Exactly, Badass Mindset, because of branding. But when you see that, it's a simple symbol. What do you think about? How about this? Do you understand what that symbol means? Do you recognize it? These are called marks or strikes. They're called logos. And you don't have to even include any text to understand that that is absolutely, of course, Ben McFuzzy Lugs, it's Apple. And it's Nike. And when you think about Nike, what do you think about? Worms. No, it's not worms, silly. How about that bird? When you see that bird, what do you think about? Any idea? It's Twitter, right? And how about Target? When you think of Target, you see their logo. It's always the same logo. And you can include these kinds of symbols like I've done, and it makes it really easy for someone to recognize. Even if they can't read it, if you create a memorable and different logo, it's easy to remember after you've seen it a number of times. And when you create a thumbnail and you include your logo in it, it takes up much less space. It's easier to see. It's easier for other people to remember and recognize it's your video. And this is why I'm not a huge fan of the sidebars. Now, Tim Schmoyer does it, and he does an amazing job. And Tim is really great with his thumbnails. They're very, very simple. There's a fair amount going on, but he does a great job in simplifying it enough. You know what? I've seen so many YouTubers that don't. Their sidebars are a mess. The text is too big. There's too much. There's too many things. Their channel names are too long. And that's why I like a logo, because it accomplishes the same exact thing. And again, thanks, Dan, for being a Patreon. Really appreciate it. And I'm excited. I just want to mention, you know, the Patreon page. There's a link to learn more about my Patreon here on YouTube. Link in the description. And wow, there's a mini course. You can access my books and lots more information. And furthermore, you get direct access to me I love to shout out, I don't shoot, shout out channel creators that are Patreons. You may want to check that out. Before we just chat and hang out for a bit, I want to share a few ideas. This is the biggest tip that I have for you, the absolute biggest tip, and that is to focus on creating engaging video messages. Focus on creating an engaging video message. And what I mean by that is when you do a live stream, make it as engaging and as fun as possible. Put time and energy into making your live stream fun. If you're doing live stream, if you're doing a walkthrough of a game, edit it. Take the best part and put it at the front. If there's something that is funny that happens, put that at the front. If part of your video is very dull and boring and isn't really needed, if it's considered fluff, edit and cut it out, because the thumbnails are important, okay? But after someone watches your video, they're gonna make a judgment, and you want them to enjoy your content. If they don't dig your content, next time they see your thumbnail, they're not going to click on it. So the biggest thing to think about is working on improving your video delivery. If you're in front of the camera, improve your video delivery over time. If you do voiceovers, focus on improving your ability to speak in an engaging manner, okay? If you're not doing either of those, I would encourage you to do those, right? Practice your voiceovers, practice being in front of the camera. And I wanted to share one last bonus. This is based on what I did right now today, okay? Here's what's up. Originally, when I created this presentation, I thought it was going to cover thumbnails and video titles. And I wanted to go live today, but I only had done the video thumbnails. I didn't have the title part, which is great. I get to do it like in 5 or 6 days. And I get to talk about the psychology of words and using a clickbait that's ethical, and also combining that with keywords and research and pulling it all together with the SEO. I get to talk about all of that in an upcoming day. But originally, my brain thought this is what's going to happen. You know, you're going to create a presentation. It's going to be thumbnails. It's going to be, and let's do this. It's going to be all of these things, right? It's going to be the thumbnails. It's going to be the SEO. It's going to be the clickbait in an ethical way. But then I just wasn't done. But I wanted to go live today. I wanted to publish today. So I did that, and I'm going to minimize some of this stuff. And I was able to make it happen. The more you can just kind of like go live, create content, and practice the ability of creating an engaging message, the better off you'll be. So think about that as you move forward. Wow, this has been so much fun, and I'm going to move some things around. I'm going to minimize the presentation. You should see my desktop. Holy smokes. I can see we're live. Let me pop out the chat here, and we'll just hang out and chat for a bit. And pop out the chat. So I hope you guys found that to be helpful. And Jen, nice to see you. Good to see you, my friend. And Kim is in the house, and Dirty Finger Gaming. Good to see you. And IC Beer 40K. Welcome, my friend. And Wolfgang Productions. What's up? What's cracking? How are you guys doing? Alex, good to see you, my man. Thank you for being a Patreon. So appreciate all of you guys. And I would love to spend some time and chat with you if you've got questions below. Mario, how have you been, man? I just thank you for sharing your photos on Facebook. I love seeing Amanda and your family, and you've got a new little one now. Lame Brain says, by the way, I improved my banner like you suggested with my message. Thanks, Brian. I'll take everything you say to heart. Awesome, Lame Brain. Absolutely do that. And I think it's going to help you. I'm excited to see how you've made some changes and so on. So yes, fantastic. And Sim Archie, welcome, my friend. Stephanie, awesome to have you here. Don't mess around with things, Brian. I'm in a noisy restaurant. We'll definitely be watching the replay. Excellent, Dan. Thanks for stopping by. Can I visit you in New York City? Maybe. You never know. I visited my pal Mario, who's in the chat right now. Good to see you. I totally need to work on my thumbnails. You know, Jeff, welcome. I'm glad you were able to catch part of it, of this webinar presentation, live stream / hanging out with B to the G. Yes, because like I went over in this presentation, I'm not sure if you saw all of it, like YouTube really measures, you know, the watch time. And obviously if people aren't clicking, click, click. Whoa, we got another super chat from Learn Colors with Auntie Joy's Toys. Thank you so much. I went from 5 views a day to 2,000 because of me. Well, it was all you, my friend. You are the one that did it. If I was a small part in that, thank you so much. I'm glad you were able to find some help in my channel. And this was a lot of fun. I want to let you know that there will always be new videos coming. I'm probably going to be editing a video for the weekend tomorrow, but we're going to do these live streams and we're going to do shout outs. We're going to dive deeper. We're going to do channel reviews on some of these and lots more. So it's always a pleasure. And MMA Fighting Tips, MMA Fighting Tips. I'm glad you're finding the channel helpful. Thank you so much for stopping by. I appreciate it. My question is from lovely Eden. Welcome, Eden. Nice to see you. The question is, the YouTube editor is going away. How could we label our videos? So here's what I would do if I was in your shoes. Get hooked up with an editor. You want software to edit your videos before you upload them. As far as what you have on your channel now, I don't have the answer. And quite honestly, as you move forward, you want to edit, and here's what's up. Edit on an iPad, edit on an iPhone, edit on a free app, edit on Movie Maker for Windows. It's free. You already have it. If you have Windows, you have Movie Maker. If you have an Apple, you've got iMovie. And really focus on upgrading how you create and edit your videos. It's going to give you a lot more power and opportunity. And Selena's got, hey, Herman, what's cracking, dude? Excellent. Fantastic, Herman. Fantastic. Selena says, would you recommend a photo shoot for thumbnails? And this was, again, you know, I went live and I could keep adding and adding ideas, but I wanted to go live and talk about this. So Selena, thank you so much for asking this question. Yes, I did a photo shoot, and here's what's up. You get behind a light colored background like white or cream, and then you can cut out the background. You can draw kind of the images around. All my thumbnails are 90% of them are based on photos that was taken in a professional photo studio. Now, some of you are saying, I can't afford that, and of course not. But you know what? I've taken really cool pictures on my iPhone outside, and I really thought about, like, these pictures will be good for social media marketing. These pictures will be good for my thumbnails. And I save those images, and then I create my thumbnails with those images. Anytime you take a picture, just like the thumbnail itself, you want simple. You want less. You want one solid background. So if you're outdoors, if you can get a picture of you with a blue background on a sunny day, that's great. If you can get a picture of you with maybe a lot of green trees in the background, that's great because it's easy for the eye to comprehend. So great question. Hey, Green Screen Master, perhaps in the future we can do a channel review. Right now we're gonna just do Q&A. Hey, Creative Queen, good to see you. I'm just kind of chilling and whatnot. In the future, perhaps, my friend. Leather Rocker, good to see you. I always do a photo shoot for my thumbnails. Yes, it really helps quite a bit. Good tip, Leather Rock. I appreciate it. I live in Paris. My friend from Paris. I live in Colorado Springs, where we have a monsoon right now. It's thundering. It's probably a bit rainy outside. And that's where I live. I love Paris, by the way. I was there a few years ago. Lovely Eden. Good to see you too. Welcome. And Lily says, here's what's up. Lily says, wow, I fought hard. Where is it? Here we go. To get a video up last Saturday after a busy week. However, she did it, and it's driving views to her channel. You know, it's the same way for me, and this is what I do, like trying to balance channel reviews and writing books and making videos and doing live streams. It takes a lot of effort. I don't know of any other platform that it's so demanding. Maybe Vine was. Vine is so interesting. Now we've got all the Viners that have come over, but you know, video takes time and energy. Absolutely. Good job. Get a selfie stick and go nuts. Exactly. Hey, Pavi, nice to see you. Good to see you. I'm glad you made the live stream, Pavi. Hey, gang, how's the audio this time? Is it less crackly? I think I found out my audio issue. Hopefully. I did a quick test. It seemed a little better. I keep making slight improvements every time, so we'll get there. Thanks, Brian G. Fun to see you from Boulder. Oh my goodness, Kathy. I was just in Boulder with my wife. We had a company function for her business, and I was up in Boulder. We stayed at that really swanky hotel. I can't remember the name of it, but we stayed at a really sweet hotel in Boulder. You gotta love Boulder. Audio is really good. Woohoo! You know, here's what's up, guys. It's okay to be imperfect. It's okay to move forward even if you're not sure. It's okay to make a typo in a presentation, even if you're live. What if they see it? So what? You can make the correction. If you do that, you're going to learn so much because you'll constantly not only learn, but you're going to improve at a really fast rate. Like my live streams have really improved quite a bit in just the last few weeks. So check that out. Nice to see you too, Creative Queen. I miss Denver. Love living there. Yes, I miss Denver too, but I love Colorado Springs. I think I actually even love Colorado Springs more. It's a little slower, a little quieter. I don't do good with traffic. And wow, there's a lot of rush hour traffic in Denver. Give me a good app for thumbnails. WordSwag is a great app for thumbnails. I use an app called Pixel Matter, my friend. You might want to check out that. Stowed Stuff Daily Vlogs. You are welcome for the tips and the help. It's been fantastic. I'm glad you found the videos helpful, the live streams helpful. Hey, Eric, Rub Match, what's up, buddy? Yes, the Springs is lovely. But I like Denver too. They're just different, you know? Green Screen Master, is there a specific time that a YouTube video should be? This is a really great question. And guys, if you've got specific questions, I'm going to hang out for another 15, 20 minutes. Then we're going to wrap up. Is it better to publish a long video or a short video? It makes no difference. Now, what does make a difference is how long someone watches. So if you publish an hour video and the average view duration is 4 minutes, you get the same impact as a 5-minute video. If everybody watches for an average of 4 minutes, then a 5-minute video isn't going to be any better or worse than an hour-long video. So what you want to think about is you want to work hard to create engaging videos. That was my last slide. You guys remember, see the slide? My last slide was, the biggest tip I can give you is focus on creating video engagement. That's how you talk on camera. That's how you present in front of the camera. That's the voiceover you add. If you're not doing either of those, it's going to be hard to create engagement because there's no human connection. You are the glue of your channel, so that's what you really want to think about. Now, if you get to a 4-minute average view duration, well then practice publishing longer videos. Try to extend that viewing duration. But I really just focus on creating the best videos I can, and I publish them, and I cut out as much as I can. If I don't need to have part of a video in, if it doesn't serve the video, I will cut it out. This improves my retention. I want to get people to the end of my video. When I get them to the end, I can say, hey, check out this video. They're going to maybe subscribe to my channel or visit another video and so on. What's a good app for an intro maker? I actually, there's an app called Intromate. If you want to create an intro, there's an app called Intromate. It's pretty darn good. It's for iOS. If you're on Android, I'm not sure. I will mention you do not need a video intro. In fact, and if you do create an intro, keep it shorter than 5, maybe 6 seconds short. Because again, people don't care about your intro. They don't. They're interested in what your video is about. They want either entertainment or information. And you want to be able to deliver that. Your intro really doesn't do any of that. That's for you. That's your branding. So 5 seconds. If you're looking for an app, Intromate, that's on the iOS. I always skip intros. There you go. There you go. Just got rid of my intro. Yeah, exactly. Like Casey Neistat doesn't use one. I use one because I teach video. And people are, I think it's good to have one if it's short and concise and gets the job done. Mine is 5 seconds. In and out, over. Hey, lovely kid Japan is in the house. Good to see you, my friend. I still have that postcard around. Lovely kid Japan actually sent me a postcard. Do you know that I gave you a shout out in a video, my friend? It was my YouTube channel ideas. I shout you out. It's a goofy, quirky video. Thank you so much for that. I always think about that. Is there anything that there isn't an app for? Probably not. What I do on my iPad is amazing. I created and edited a lot of my videos for 2 or 3 years until I launched this channel. Then I went and started editing on Final Cut Pro. But boy, what we can do with apps is amazing. Well, gang, thank you so much. I think we're going to wrap things up. I'll check for any last questions. Thank you for being here. It means the world. Going to drop a video about Patreon and how I've grown my Patreon from 0 to 4 figures in a few weeks. That's dropping this weekend. Pretty excited about it. Brian is the king. Nah. It's just me. I like my intros. Intros are great. You just don't want to overdo it. It should be short. It should be peppy, to the point. You are welcome. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Daily vlogs, stowed stuff, daily vlogs. Glad you enjoyed it. Sim Archie, thank you for stopping by. I appreciate you very much. Badass Mindset, another Patreon. Here's what's up for those of you that are Patreons. What you saw tonight, what you saw today, that's going to happen often. I'm going to shout patrons out in videos. I will be shouting out and providing feedback on patrons' channels in upcoming live streams. So if I didn't include you today, just know I'll be doing that a lot more. And I can't obviously include everybody in every hour live stream, but absolutely, certainly, I will be including you in an upcoming video or live stream at some point. So thank you so much. How to get views on live stream. You know what? Here's what I want to suggest. If you want to know how to get views on live streams, focus on videos first. Unless, like, if you're happy with 2 or 3 people in your live stream, cool. Or 1, but you're not. You're saying more, and the way you get more is you focus on videos first. It's funny, me and my pal Nick Nimmin had this discussion, and I see some people going live can be a really powerful strategy, but because it increases the views And not only that, it also increases your watch time significantly. A live stream with an active audience that likes your stuff, they're going to watch longer. And I know you're probably like, no, I want to know how to get more people to my live stream right now. But here's what's up. A great thumbnail can do that. A great title can do that. Lots of participation, a lot of people commenting, that can help push your live stream up in the rankings. But what I would really suggest before that is to build your subscriber base first. Make sure you're publishing enough videos that will help grow your channel, because videos really are powerful and they have a very long duration on YouTube. So make sure you're doing both videos and live streams, and over time, your both of those things together will grow your channel. I hope you found that helpful, my friend. You're welcome, Creative Queen. How to promote through Twitter and Instagram. Honestly, lame brain, that's not how I really work. A lot of people want to push people from platform to platform. No, I just did that on Facebook. And I bet you some of the people in my group on Facebook probably shared this live stream. But what I do instead, my friend, is I focus on building an audience on the platform. So I am on Twitter if I like Twitter, and I engage with people. I get to know them. I don't just try to promote. I'm really just focused on community. And that's the approach I take. And then when I do go live on YouTube, I want my pals on Facebook to know about it, so I share my video to Facebook. So I really focus on the platform I'm on. And I think you'll be far better to really put all your brain power on the YouTube platform itself first. Like your channel art is a great example. You stopped by a live stream a few days ago. I did the channel review. I said your channel art could definitely use some improvements. If you keep making those improvements, if you keep working on really improving your channel, your videos, your editing, your call to action, understanding SEO, understanding the keyword research, and on, that is how you grow. And then when you got it down, then say, I want to grow on Facebook. So I'm going to learn Facebook. For me, I started on Google and I learned SEO, and I got to be a ninja with SEO. And I still rank for tons of stuff today. And I made millions of dollars because of it. And then I went to self-publishing, and then I went to Facebook, and then I went to YouTube again. That's how I move forward. Creative Queen, we will absolutely, probably a week or so, I'll do another live stream like this. I don't know if it's going to be part 2 of this. I might do a presentation based on like how to grow, like YouTube, nuts to bolts, and making money too. How to make money and grow on YouTube. I'll probably do that presentation sometime in the next week or 2 weeks. And we're going to do a lot of these live streams. So absolutely, I'm glad you dug it. And I'm glad that a lot of you hung out for most of it, because I want to go into more detail rather than a 5-minute video. I want to break it down. Hello, everyone. What did I miss? Andres, what are you doing, baby? How you doing? Welcome to the live stream. Another Patreon in the house. You missed channel reviews, shout outs, feedback of patrons, and we really went through thumbnails today. It was fun. I'm sorry you missed it, but replay. Let's see what else we got. Any other questions? Where are the 2 poodles? They're upstairs, and I'm so glad they're quiet. I was kind of like freaking out before I went live, because sometimes they go kind of crazy. They're upstairs chilling. All right, that's it. It's all over. The stream's all over. You know what that means, right? Poof. Pixie dust.